tapping. Tap into your purpose. Tapping.
Okay.
They act as if we see, no hear, no speak, no evil. They act as if we see, no hear, no speak, no evil. We tapping into purpose. Raw purpose. Raw purpose. We tapping into purpose. Raw purpose. Raw purpose.
Yo, what's good, Raw fam? This is your boy Zay,
What's poppin'? It's your boy Rashad.
and this is the Raw on Purpose podcast.
The Raw on that was great, by the way. I like that.
Appreciate you.
The Raw on Purpose podcast, where we tap in, right? Being our raw, authentic selves, tapping into our divine purpose, coming together, having great topics, and helping you tap into your best self today. So, are y'all ready for another great segment?
Yes, let's dive right in. First, how are you all doing today? You guys in a good mind space, good mindset. I hope all is going well for you. Today, we're going to talk about what is the thief of joy.
Right.
Right? What is the thief of joy? We've heard this, especially in this modern time, has been said, I think, quite often. Right? I've seen
Yep.
many posts about this,
Yep.
many things about it. But what would you say is the thief of joy?
Yeah, so definitely that quote comes from President Theodore Roosevelt, which himself went through a lot of challenges in his life, yet he wore a smile a lot of the time. But of course, he said that comparison
Uh-huh.
is the thief of
Mhm.
joy. You agree with that?
Yes, I definitely agree to that. And the reason why is we are all created for a purpose.
A specific individual purpose.
Everybody has their own, just like we all have our own fingerprints.
Yep.
Like even twins, they may be identical in DNA, they may be identical in how they look and how their voices sound, but the thing that makes them different is their fingerprints.
Yep.
So that's our fingerprint is our purpose, the thing that God put us in the earth to do.
Yep.
And when we compare ourselves to somebody else, then honestly, we disrespect God.
For real. Definitely disrespect God. We watered down God's plan for our lives. We almost crap on it in a way.
Yep.
I'm saying like, what he give me and all this stuff ain't even worth discovering, tapping into, or opening up, or anything like that. So these gifts, these talents, this mindset, this everything that makes me individually, it ain't nothing. So I'll be looking at them and see they what they got works better. Their natural gifts and what God gave them looks better. So I want some of that. And that right there is comparison. And that's what steals the joy.
Absolutely. I think that's why he tells us to not covet our neighbors, right?
Yep.
Not to covet what our neighbors have, because some things are just not meant for us to get.
Right. Everything ain't for us.
Right. Some things are not within his purpose, within his will for us to have. And because we see somebody else with it, we want it.
Yep.
No matter. And then, first of all, we don't know what it costs the person to get it.
Right.
Right. We don't know what the person had to go through.
Right.
Who they may have lost. Who they may have had to hurt.
What
right?
they had to sacrifice,
What they had
time,
to
energy,
sacrifice.
money, all
Yep.
of that.
Like we just don't know.
Nope.
But we're like, I want it.
That's
It
how
looks
we are.
nice.
We see end results all day, and we don't know anything about the process they got
Nothing.
to. We just want, and we just see it every day. Just what we want, their end results to a process that they went through. We want that without the process. We don't even ask the question. We just say, I want that. Where'd you get it from?
Right.
Not how'd you get it.
How'd you get it? What'd you have to go through to get it? And then, like, some people don't know that, like, you had to sell your character to get something, right? Like, there's so many different aspects to looking at what somebody else has. And he tells us to not covet what our neighbor has because, again, it's like a slap in the face to God to tell them that what he has given you is not good enough.
Because that's like ungratefulness.
Right.
Like I said, after all that he's giving you, and say like even like even just giving, just start with the minimum, right? Of just your breath,
Right.
just waking up and having your breath, but you still up here complaining because of something that you been chasing that is not yours, but is for somebody else that God has for them, and you disregarding something as simple that is your life force, your breath, and you don't even want to be thankful for that.
Right. You don't want to appreciate what is really what he has given to you. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like, like we really don't appreciate the very things that he has to offer us.
hmm
Um, why do you think? Why do you think we compare? Where do you think the seed? Let's attack the seed. Where do you think the seed of comparison comes from?
it's like the reason why we can even compare.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think for one, we don't recognize our own value. We don't see ourselves as a unique individual, and especially in this society where uh, they want the masses to kind of follow in us like a sea, like a stream, the mainstream. They want most of the people to just go down the mainstream. Um, and when you are going down the mainstream and going with the crowd, you're gonna always be focused on the crowd. You're gonna always be keeping your eyes on the crowd as opposed to like what's going on within you and what you're here for and what you're about in your lane. Um, in this marathon race of life that we are all on.
Yeah.
So it's like so we sometimes we have inferiority. We sometimes we see someone as higher, better because of the value systems that have been placed on, like, somebody has more possessions,
Yeah.
accolades, degrees, influence, any of that type of stuff. And then we look at ourselves like, man, I really don't got much compared to them.
Right.
But you really have a lot.
You have a lot. Yeah, it's amazing how we complain about, like, especially here in America, we complain about like the smallest things. And it's like there's somebody in another country
Right.
that would just love to take a hot shower. So you would say that comparison um uh takes away your appreciation of what you do have.
Right.
That you can't even appreciate taking a hot shower because your shower doesn't look like
Right.
what you've seen on
Right.
TV. Like you've been on YouTube watching
Right.
videos of houses and you're like, well,
Right.
right? And then
Or it doesn't add up to your Pinterest ideas and whatnot.
right, right, right. And it's like, it's like my wife and I got to go over to some of our mentors' house yesterday, and like it was like beautiful, like it's like a dream house that you will want,
Right.
and it was great to see it for one because it was like, yo, this is obtainable.
Exactly.
Like I can have this if I do the things that
Right.
I need to do.
Right.
And not put pressure on myself because like they were like, yeah, one of the neighbors was 32 years old, right?
Okay.
And it's like,
Yeah.
so then it starts
Boom.
messing with you, right?
My age.
Right. It's like, dang, they
I
younger
should
than
be.
me.
Yeah.
I should be. And it's like, well, no,
Yeah.
you took two different paths,
Yeah.
right? For them, they focused on doing this one thing.
Yep.
I focused on doing something else,
Yep.
right? They were in their purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and in their doing, they may have accumulated things faster,
Mm-hmm.
right? Opposed to myself, it's like there's more stuff in me I have to work through. There
Right.
are more things like don't know if their parents left them some bread so they were
Mhm.
able to make that decision,
Right.
or they had a different career path.
Right.
So if I sat there and be like, yo, like I look at my life and be like, golly, like I'm nowhere. But it's like even talking with them, they're like, this is where we were at around your age. And
Mhm.
fast forward 30 years later, walking into a house like that. So it's like we have to, if we're going to look at what somebody else has, it shouldn't be to take it and make it a mirror to our life.
Right.
It shouldn't be like, yo, this is how they look. So how do I stack up to it?
Right.
It should be no. Okay, if that's the thing I want to obtain, what do I have to work on in me?
Right.
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 To obtain that, but first you should say, God, is that even what you desire for me to have in my life?
Mm-hmm.
Because just because you pursue something doesn't mean that it's within His will for you to
Right.
have it.
Right.
Right. That's weird for people to hear.
It is.
Right. People think that you just go to God and He's our genie. Right?
Right.
Like
Rub it right.
you just rub Him right and He's gonna answer. And it's like, well, no. There's many things that even say in Scripture that says, like in I believe it's James. I think James chapter 4, I believe, he says that you pretty much have not because you ask amiss.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you ask for selfish reasons.
Yep.
Right? So a lot of times people want to accumulate wealth so that they can look good, not so that they can help somebody behind them.
Right.
That they can I'll put it out here. One of my biggest dreams to get to a point in life to where I live off of 10% of what I make.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to spend the other 90% giving to those that need it, blessing, making sure my children are taken care of, my generations are taken care of, and I could wake up and be like, all right, God, who do you want me to bless? Like who do you want me to do for today? Because there's but so much that you can buy. There's but so much stuff you can attain. And you'll find that it's never enough.
No. The things will always have like a black hole attached to it. When it comes to obtaining things, it will never be enough. And it's like we're lacking like value in ourselves or just really having lack mentality. Mm-hmm. That's key too, because when you have lack mentality, you're always going to feel like you're missing something. Like you need to add something to balance you out, fulfill you, make you feel like you're worthy, to make you feel like you're just something amongst the others.
Right. And we put so much value in stuff. That's why, like, a young man will go kill somebody for some Jordans because the value is in the shoe and not the human being. Mm. Right? Because that's what we worship. That's what we praise is this person has this nice car. So if you're driving down the street and someone sees something they want, they'll come bust your window, pull a gun to your head, tell you to get out and try to take your stuff.
Right.
Because it's like, I want it.
Yeah.
Or I want money or right. And it that's why it says that the root of evil or the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money. To love money.
Yep.
Right?
To love and idolize and lift up money.
Yeah. Because you'll do anything to get it.
Yep.
You'll do anything to get it.
Yep.
But if you just understand that money is just simply a tool.
It's a tool. It's energy.
To be able to do things that you desire, do things that you want. Yep. And even as you said, it's energy. It's something that's supposed to flow anyways. Yep. It's not supposed to stop with you.
Nope.
It's supposed to. That's why people that invest their money tend to make more money than people that save their money.
Right. The money under the mattress type people that people just put in a savings type of thing. Yeah. Because it's like I said, it's supposed to be generated, flow. So God can get money through you. He's always going to get it to you.
Right.
So.
And that's with anything that we do.
Anything.
Right. Anything that we have. Like our houses are not only for ourselves. Like, like. I think of someone I know that their aunt has like a 5-bedroom house, right? And their brother needed a place to stay.
Right.
Knew that that they were staying in a dumpy looking place. Like, why didn't you offer your house up for them to stay with you? Right? Everybody say, well, you can't let everybody stay. You got to protect your energy. Yeah, to a certain degree.
Yeah, to a certain degree.
But it's like you didn't get that for you. Like first of all, if you're by yourself, why do you need a 5-bedroom house to say that you have a house?
Just to say that you have a large house.
Right. Like I try to help my wife understand. Like anything that I get is not just for us, it's for whoever we can help. Whoever's having, going through financial problems, or they're in a transition period in their life, or let's say they move from out of state and they're coming here and they're getting a fresh start. Well, if we have the power to help, that's our responsibility to help. Not to just sit there and be like, oh, okay, I hope that works out for you.
Right.
Right? Now, I'm not saying for anybody to go out and just invite strangers into your house, but I'm talking about people that you know.
Yeah. Like strategic type of really assisting and helping someone.
Right. So it's like, so if we're not having even those mindsets or those values, we will kill ourselves trying to obtain what the next person have. This is probably the biggest issue with corporate America is there's never enough money for corporate America. They're always trying to get more. And with them trying to get more, they don't put out more to the people that help run their businesses, right? Like I saw something today where it says Costco pays starts off at $17 an hour and Walmart starts at $12 an hour. Then it said that there's a small minority of people that work at Costco that are on welfare, but a large, overwhelming amount of people that work for Walmart are on welfare. And it's like, that's interesting.
Right.
Like most people work at Costco for 8+ years, Walmart 3. And it's like.
And the thing is, Walmart's okay with that.
Right.
So we'll just keep hiring people.
Right.
It doesn't matter if they short-lived and don't stay with us for a long time. We just need bodies to fulfill to get this production out.
Right. Same with Amazon. And they've made it so hard to where you almost have to use them. Right. They make it so it's so hard to be like, yo, I'm not gonna use them. I'm not going to patronize their business. But it's like if you can get something in 2 days opposed to 5 days or 6 days.
Right, that convenience.
They got to sew on a convenience to where we don't even care. Right? Like I had this conversation with my mom all the time. They'd be like, they should pay the people more. I said, okay, so if they pay them more, are you willing to pay $2 more for that gallon of milk you got? No, I'm not. So you really don't care about the people, right? Like, like if we boil down to it.
Right. If they said we're raising our prices, we want to, provide a better sense of wages for our employees.
Which is crazy because then if you think about that, and this is a whole nother. But it's like if you raise the prices, that defeats you even giving them more.
Yeah, we know how that goes. Yeah.
But let me get back on comparison. Like when you compare your journey to other people's journey, it takes away the value of your own.
Definitely that.
Right? It diminishes your value because now, honestly, you think about it, you're not even being your authentic self. You only want something because you saw somebody else have it.
Yep.
Right? And it's okay if you see somebody have something like, you know what? I think that would look nice on me, and then you go purchase it. But because it would look nice on you, not because I want it because they have it. Right? Because this is why they hire celebrities. And famous people to sell their lines because, Michael Jordan wears them.
Especially with us.
Exactly.
Especially with us, more than any.
Exactly. So, they're wearing Gucci. Cool. I gotta wear it.
Yep. Wherever the biggest viewing, where all the eyes are going to, whoever's wearing whatever, that's what them want. Even if it's not something that's their style or something that really looks right on you or any of that type of stuff. Oh, I gotta have it because I want that attention. I want the energy that they're getting. So with what it looks like, I want some of that. So men too, like men, want to get stuff, cars, money, this, that, and to attract certain type of women.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Yep.
So, and once again, of course, that came from seeing another player or whoever that's getting all the girls and whatnot. oh, that's all you got to do is have that because they see the reaction
Yep.
and all that. So, you know, they're like, oh, I need to be on that level. I need to get on this guy's level in order to get that for myself. Once again, coveting it. But yeah,
And not understanding that that takes away from your peace, and
man,
then not understanding that that man probably isn't happy
nope.
because now you got to keep putting out in order to get back.
Yep,
Right, you got to
tough.
continuously you got to continually do something to get them to pay attention to you.
Yep. You can't just be you no matter what you got or don't have. You can't just be in that light. You have to keep what you started because that's a whole persona. That's a whole, you know, that you made. So they, like, I came for that. All that you being you, I came for that. Pay up. Otherwise, I'm gone.
Yep. Because they don't care about you. They care
No.
about what you can get for them.
What you can get, yep.
Right. I always say that brothers that don't have no game, they gotta
Yep.
go the money route.
Yep.
They have to do.
You have to be the loudest, have the biggest car, make the most money,
Yep.
all that.
Like they have to do all the stuff that's for show.
Right.
Like they're not able to just. We always say like if you got game, if you can make a girl smile, right? That's really all you got to do
Mm-hmm.
is just make them laugh.
Yep. Now, even that, just staying on that conversation, some men were told being yourself is, you know, that's what women like. They just want you to be yourself. They even heard women say it. But the type of woman that they may go for, you know, they're like, okay, let me try this. I'm just be myself. Boom. It quote unquote doesn't work, but it really just didn't work because it was the wrong person that they were trying to put that game on. Then they're like, all right, that ain't work. So that means I gotta do something else.
I gotta put on.
Yeah.
I gotta go and change who I am now. It's like no, that person just wasn't the person for you.
Yeah. And that's key too. When you're rejected by someone, that doesn't mean that there's anything necessarily wrong with you or that you're lacking. That just means they didn't see the value in you. And if you don't see the value in you, definitely nobody else is going to see the value in you. So it's like if you don't have that authenticity and that value of yourself and everything, people are definitely going to utilize you because you're not utilizing you. You're not tapping into you. You're not putting yourself in the position of honoring what God has given you. So you always seeking and looking out for, you know, for somebody else or to be like or to, you know, get on somebody else's level. And people can see and smell that, especially people who this world's full of them, but people who, you know, may have narcissistic or controlling or may take advantage of you and all that type of stuff. So and I've been there before of not like just recognizing my own power, my own self worth, all that, and you know, looked outside of myself and not realizing that and allowed myself to be taken advantage of before. But it was a lesson. I don't take anything for granted or regrets, but it was a lesson I learned from it. But that's definitely key. You know, you definitely have to, you know, value you. Um, Never compare yourself to someone else, but really focus on your specific and individual purpose and set of gifts and talents and everything that you have. Develop and grow that because the grass is not always green on the other side. But if you just water your own, then you'll know.
Right, right, because it's all about investment.
Yeah. And why do we invest? Because we see value.
We see value,
Yeah.
and you invest because you expect a return also.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that's why it's important that we invest in people. Right,
The most important. Yep.
We invest our time into things that bear fruit.
Yeah.
Most importantly, we need to invest time in prayer and seeking God's guidance on how to obtain these things. make sure, because like just because, again, go back to, just because you can attain it doesn't mean that in it's his desire for you to have it.
Yep.
Because people talk about like, yeah, the Lord blessed me with this, that, and the third.
Did he
And
really?
then it becomes a curse.
Did he really? Because you can God will allow you, because God, the blessings of God is a yea and amen. And if you praying and some, God just let you. You believed it, you wanted, you followed all the right steps, but it may not have been what He had for you. But He gonna let you just go ahead and get after what you want, and come to find out sometimes that thing doesn't last. You lose it. If it's an item, somebody may take it.
Right.
And you're like, what, God, somebody, I've been praying this blessing that you gave me, and they took it from me. It's like, I never gave it to you. I never had anything to do with any of that.
Right.
That was your desires, your maybe lust, your, just wanting and desiring something that somebody may have had that you thought was for you in that time, but wasn't. So you had to learn that, hey, it's not what it is.
It's funny seeing people being like, yeah, look at what God did, right?
Mm-hmm.
and then that very testimony becomes like a curse. That it's like they're praying like God, and it's like, yeah, just because he gives allowance for things doesn't mean that it's in his plan. Now, if it's something that you've taken the time to plan out, you've set aside money, and you've done all the right things, and stuff happens, right? Like life happens,
right?
And if it's to be, He'll make a way for you to keep it. Like that's how you know it's something that is His driven for you. Is something may get taken away from you, but the reason why it was taken from you was to pivot you into another place, to make a transition, to do something differently, or honestly, to even jump into what He purposed for you to do, right? Because a lot of people are even in career paths not because that's what their purpose is, right? They hate what they do every single day, but because they're in competition or they're comparing themselves, they will kill themselves just to keep up with these things.
Just to keep up,
right? And honestly, here another thing that that having comparison, how it kills your joy, is we're seeing now in the culture to where instead of men and women coming together collectively to just upgrade their lives, it's like there's a competition between the two, right? Because if the woman, let's say, is making more money, he's comparing. He's like, I'm less of a man, right? Feeling like that, and then the woman is like, I make more money than him, so he is less than a man. Because you're looking at what somebody else has, opposed to just understanding, like, no, this is a partnership, right? Let's work together and let's build to get to that point,
right?
Like, let's build something together. Let's do something together. But it's like there's just impatience, and people that have like the most beautiful stories are the ones that were patient with each other, and they grow through all the growing pains.
Yep.
Right. This would be something we'll dive into later. That that God doesn't care about the destination; He cares about the process.
Yep.
Right. Because the destination is a moment.
It's just one moment.
One moment. Because like you go up and you hit, let's say, hit $1 million, or you get that new car, you get that new house. It's for a moment.
Right.
Because then once you get it, yes, I got it.
Right.
Now you have to work to maintain it.
Right. Because there's life after the destination.
Yep.
Because it's destination after destination after destination.
Absolutely. It's a process. It's because and what we also don't understand is, like, when we go into a new place, it demands a new level of stewardship. It demands a new level of dedication.
Yeah.
And you can't take your old terrible habits into a new space.
Nope.
So there again, it goes back to like you don't know what the person had to give up in their life
Mm-hmm.
to obtain the things that they have. You
Yep.
don't know what they sacrificed.
Yep.
So when we compare ourselves, we it messes with our minds.
Definitely psychologically impacts just everything. I mean it. I mean it's sad, but yeah, I mean it can impact everything because that feeling of being in your own self and feeling empty and seeing someone else as fulfilled and having everything that you think would make you feel good, better, up leveled about yourself is a terrible place to be. And that's why people rob, steal, and even kill. Is even because of that one reason of just feeling like I gotta have this, I gotta be in this place, and nobody wants to go through those processes, especially today.
Yeah.
As you know, everything speeds up. You know, popcorn generation, instant gratification. Everybody wants what they want now. And they think they should have it now, and I'm gonna get it however I want to get
Right.
it. You know how some people think. So, like by any means necessary. Some people have that mindset. By any means necessary, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna have it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So we want to leave with these few last thoughts is stop comparing yourself to what you see other people having. Um, Comparing yourselves to what honestly, stop comparing yourself to what you see on social media,
Definitely the social media part.
right? Because oftentimes what you see is fake. Right, I've seen
Mm-hmm.
so many jokes about all these like financial gurus that are broke, right? Because the one thing that they tapped into is the fact that because people will idolize what they see, that they will they will just pay for
Yeah.
something because
They
I
won't even
want
think
that
about it.
lifestyle,
Exactly. If
opposed to like um, first researching to see if the person is really doing what they say they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is that really their cars that really
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's just so easy to market. I mean, it's just simple marketing.
So easy.
So social media, it just makes it so easy to make stuff look better, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, I have such a creative mind, and because I have a creative mind, and some of the things that I'm able to do from a video standpoint, I know how to manipulate things to make it look better.
Yep.
So when you're able to do that, right? We see like if you look at a movie,
Mm-hmm.
movies that are shot in a big room that's a green screen,
Right.
and then they bring this whole thing to life, and people are like, "Yo, that's real." It's like,
Right.
no,
Right. They were just really good production and editing that took a lot of time,
right,
effort.
right.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that is that you can manipulate, and then even angles, right?
Yeah.
You're starting to see like photos can be photoshopped
Yep.
to make you look like you have more than what you have. So you just can't compare yourself to what anybody else has because God has a plan for you. He has purpose for you, and He opens the door for you to get things. You just need to make sure that you understand that the things don't make you who you are.
Right.
It's the things that's on the inside of you is what makes you are.
All
Who
right.
you
Have
are.
those things. Don't let them have you.
Absolutely.
Possess
Enjoy
those
them.
things. Yeah. Enjoy them.
Right. Enjoy them. Appreciate them.
Yeah.
Steward them well.
Definitely.
Right. Steward them well. All right, guys, we're back. Yeah, working with technology.
Good old dependable technology.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. We had the computer die on us.
Phew. Right as we get into some points,
Yep.
but it's all good.
Yep.
We back.
It's all a part of the process, y'all.
Yep.
It's all a part of the process. But as I was saying, just steward whatever God gave you. Steward it well. That makes room for you to attain more.
Definitely.
Appreciate what he has given you so that he can give you more, so that he can trust you with more. And those things
Hmm.
that you're desiring, check why you want them.
Right.
Right? Don't compare yourself to your neighbor, to the next person, because you honestly can't have what they have,
That's right.
and you don't know what it's going to cost you,
Right.
because they may have the strength to bear the sacrifices it takes to get it, and you may not, and it may
Hmm.
end up destroying you. You just
Hmm.
don't know it. So make sure you check your heart on what you, on the different things that you're desiring, and understand that everything you see is not real.
Right.
Anything else you would like to add to that?
The motive, the motive is the motor. So what drives you is what drives you. Um, and like in addition to that, um, where's I going with that? And that's when it goes back, of course, to what we always talk about, promote, uplift, our individual purpose. So, like, tapping into your individual purpose every day, staying grateful, counting your blessings, working on bettering you every day, finding that place of confidence, all of that. These are things that you won't even fall into anything as far as like comparing yourself, and you have to tap into your own joy. So because of course that's what we talking about today. Like that's the thief of joy. It takes that joy away is when we compare. So you have to tap into your eternal joy every day by grounding yourself, being grateful, working on yourself, the gifts that God's given you, always staying connected to him because he's the one who made you, and always remind you that you are here on purpose for a reason and are very valuable and needed here, for a very specific and individual purpose. So keeping that daily mindset is key, and knowing that we all have our own lane that we're traveling, and that all of us are not supposed to end up on this whatever finish line or arrival point or wherever it may have you. We're not supposed to arrive at the same time. Some of
Exactly.
us may accumulate wealth and certain experiences later in life,
Yep.
and some may get on the front end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people like Colonel Sanders, other people who like achieve their certain level of success and realization of their potential, and what God has given them a little bit later in life.
Yeah.
And had they given up
Yeah.
on that and didn't believe in themselves and believe in what God had given them and believe in the path and the process, they never would have reached it because of comparing themselves to where they thought they should be.
Yep. And that's it's the greatest killer is the thought of this is where I should be. Your story, your journey is not their story. Appreciate, embrace what your story is, because your story can very well encourage somebody that's in the middle of the process. And everything that we go through in our life is really not for us, it's for us to use to empower, encourage, and uplift somebody else. So I
Right.
hope you enjoyed this podcast, this episode. Again, do us a favor, share, like, comment. You know where to reach us. So hit us up on there, and we love to hear from you. Until next time, do not compare yourself to others. Do not allow it to steal your joy. Live in your joy and
Yes.
seek God. Till next time, this is your boy Zay,
And of course, it's your boy Rashad.
and this is the Raw on Purpose podcast.
Yes, sir.
Tapping, tapping, tap into your purpose. Tapping, tapping. Check it out. They act as if we see, no hear, no speak, no evil. They act as if we see, no hear, no speak, no evil. We tapping into purpose.